Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it's awesome. Here we are at Big Bear Film Festival, and we're with Noah. You and Aaron had put this movie together, which is what was it tentatively called? It's called The Trapdoor at the End of the Universe?
Not tentatively. That's what it's called.
How many names did you go through? Why did you land on that one? Yeah.
That is deep. Why is anything called anything? I mean, I think that what happened is it sounded right. Me and Aaron were workshopping the name with a friend of mine, Vadim, who I run this, who I contribute to this. She has this channel called Creationist Cat on YouTube, and I contribute it. And the three of us were just tossing ideas around, and that came up, and all of us were like, "That fits. That has the flavor."
Yeah, and it's ridiculous, kind of. You know, it's got the ridiculous quality that the story kind of does. So.
Yeah, and as I was watching it, I go, "Would this become?" I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I was watching this, I saw, I was like, when this will become a cult classic, because it's just if or when. They will probably remake it and splice this original movie in with the other movie.
Possibly.
We're already fired, dude. Nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's not a bad idea, honestly, if you did it right, because it is a patchwork. The movie kind of feels patchwork quilty a bit, I think, is what you're sort of like how I interpret what you're saying. And it would work to have completely different, production values, worlds, casts. Like it could, you could make it work if they wanted. If it was done well, that could totally work, and not reduce the, not make it crappier.
Yes, I understand. So if you could, Aaron, if you could tell me a little bit about what would happen if somebody saw the trailer for the first time and you wanted to embrace them and say, okay, well, this is also what you're going to expect when you come and see this film.
I would give them a fat joint, and I would tell them that it's a fun ride, and have an open mind, I suppose, because it is a different type of movie. But I wouldn't say too much, just because I think the movie's for itself.
And with everybody in the room, I know that having to sit through as a director and writer myself, going through casting calls. Now that everyone's in the room, can you give me a story about having to find the right cast and going through this casting process? I'll start with Aaron or Noah. Or Aaron, Noah.
Yeah, I did all the casting, and I was lucky enough that Laura was involved from the get-go. She was actually someone who we knew each other before. We were friends before the movie shot, and we were both trying to figure out how do we get things produced that are not just coming, like other jobs coming from, how do we produce our own content? And so she was always really supportive and helped out in all sorts of ways before the movie even got anywhere in terms of being pulled together for real. And then I went through a big roller coaster of having different people attached. At one point, Haley Joel Osment and Adrian Grenier were attached to play the leads, and it just kind of went through that classic kind of Hollywood, like coming together and falling apart, and coming together, like the accordion thing. And then I finally ended up with everyone falling away except Laura, and having to completely recast. And then I found, and then Aaron was always intended to play the writer or the detective one, and he eventually settled on the writer as who he thought he would rather play. And then we were just looking for the detective, and Chris Douridas, the guy who plays Joe Gagliano in the movie, Mr. Gagliano, he went to acting school with Shawn, and that was how we met. And as soon as I saw Shawn, I was like, whoa, this is really
hit gold.
Quite defined.
Yeah, we hit gold with Shawn.
Oh, you guys are sweet.
Oh my God, yeah, Paul, I love it.
So Shawn, please tell me what your experience was like with this.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, Shawn, you go ahead and tell me what your experience was like.
Oh, it was absolutely the craziest thing I've ever done. I mean, most of these guys are used to doing indie film. I am not. And so the whole thing was such a trip. And when I got off the airplane, I stepped into like Neverland. It was crazy. And you got to remember, at the same time, there was a solar eclipse going on. And back home, when I was coming from Houston, we were having Hurricane Harvey. So my house was flooding. So the whole thing was just like a weird, and the Pacquiao Mayweather fight was going on. I think during one of the scenes, during the last scene, we could hear the Pacquiao Mayweather fight being played from people's balconies as we're filming the damn scene. It was such a crazy time, you know? And so that's what I remember. I've never been a part of anything. It was run and shoot and run and mostly run, but it was it was really something else. It's the kind of stories I would definitely tell my kids. And I know you guys are probably used to that kind of stuff, but it was crazy. It was amazing. You know, the shoots by the beach, by the railroad track, the stuff in the backyard. It's like, wait, the Portal to Forever is in a shed? Okay, cool. It's like, wow. It was a trip. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had.
And when you read the script for the first time and you had to do an audition, what was your thoughts about that?
I understood it. I got the part that I could see. I understood, and I got that. It was well written. You could see there was a good hook to it, and there was good character development between the characters. So I was able to hook onto that. It was like a theater script, so it was a very well written script. So there was no problem with that. That doesn't tell you what your life is going to be like trying to go to a bodega and try to grab some water at at midnight or something because you had to change that doesn't tell you any of the script. Don't tell you shit.
About the production, yeah.
Well, very good. And Laura Wiggins, I can't believe, how was your experience with Shawn and the whole crew and everything?
I knew what we were doing was not the way you're supposed to make a movie in Hollywood. Because that's why things never get done over there. People just spend years out there. And so I was kind of coming into it with the idea of like, all right, people are probably going to get really frustrated with Noah. And this is good. Because we had we had very little money, you know. We didn't have $100,000, and when you're talking about movies, just what you doing, you know? So I got there, and I knew Aaron was going to be great, and I knew Noah was going to be able to, he's just one of those human beings that whatever he does, it will turn out well. You know, I've never seen him put out any crappy music or and he had this show, and I think he'll still do it, Creationist Cat, that really knew, I knew he could he just had the absurdity down pat, you know. So meeting Shawn, being a stage actor, I was like, dude, this guy is hanging in there. He's making steaks and cooking, it doesn't matter what we're doing. And then all of a sudden, this freaking eclipse happens and Hurricane Harvey happens, and I come back to set. I think I had to go to a convention and come back, and Shawn is just I'm trying to get kids out of here, but then he's coming to work, and the footage is so great, you know? And I don't know, and we have Gabe here, who is the quintessential Merlin. He is a wizard. It's true. He's a real wizard.
I think he is still posing as Gabriel, and he is Merlin.
He is a wizard. He's a wizard. He might be a good wizard, but he's a wizard.
I would love to make
it's just fun.
I would love to sequel it and bring Merlin back.
Oh yes. Yeah. And ironically, Noah, it was like when I was watching, I was like, this is Noah's character. Is Gabriel Noah written? Is that how it's written?
Huh.
Why did you think that?
Because you're evil.
Because he's making cats. He's teaching cats
evil.
how to talk.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, why is it so evil?
No.
Yeah.
Merlin is not me.
Since when is it evil to teach your cats how to read?
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah, that's all he does. That's all he does in the whole movie.
If in the sequel, it could be a Facebook problem, really, because I could just see Facebook being like, these cats are learning to read. You know what that means for the rest of us? And it's just like, now they're like, open the door, bitch. Like, you know, like we fully
Slippery slope.
Yeah.
Point blankness.
No, that was
Yeah.
that was a trip every day. That was awesome.
Yeah, I remember the shots of you, the Merlin shots, and it must have been a drone pulling back from that, and yeah, it's pretty epic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, do you remember that day, Noah? Oh my God, that
113 degrees. We were out there shooting those shots, and Gabe was dressed in the full-on Merlin wizard robes.
Man, I wish I wouldn't have missed that. Gosh darn it. Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
no, I remember.
That was the best day.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying we've got the perfect spot, the perfect location. It's going to be absolutely incredible, but we're going to have to hike for a little bit. And I was like, in the Merlin suit? And yeah, the way it worked out, you know, it was like changing on the side of the road and then hiking up a mountain with a staff and a full camera crew and like 10 umbrellas. And Noah, the director, was there's footage of this. Noah, the director, is literally holding an umbrella, not over his head, over my head. Dude, Noah, that was awesome. I mean, that's a real leader, dude. So
Yeah, what a guy.
Dude, I felt so bad for you, and I was so grateful that you had a good attitude. It was, man, being hot like that, you were really hot. Like, it was 113 degrees. We had no shade. You see in the shot, it's out.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Dude,
and you got that basically like a velvet costume, like a velour costume on. I mean, like you must have been.
What?
I mean, that must have been so
Heavy
uncomfortable.
duty Renfest.
Oh yeah, Psycho Renfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was good stuff. That's I can absolutely say that's why I was attracted to the character, was just how outrageous it was and how many times it shifted and to me the most fun. I mean, working with an ensemble, you can't get better than working with an ensemble. I would die if I was like, Gabe, you got to be in Castaway or something, where it's just me, or like Moon. That would never happen. I have to have the energy of really good performers, and then I'll really transform, and that's what. And you guys were just inspiration every day. So it's hard to keep up with you guys, but I did my best.
I think about how many takes we took with me hitting Gabe with a sandwich. It's like, no, I can't see the sandwich. It's like, it's a sandwich. It's got to be a bigger sandwich.
Yeah. One more time. We need one more take.
One more
really?
take. And say, no, I got to see Gabe. Wait, no, now I got to see Gabe's face.
Yeah.
No, dude, let's see his face again.
I couldn't eat sandwiches for months after that.
Traumatized.
I think we went to the bodega down the street. Didn't we?
Well,
I'm trying to
Sydney did. The props did. We did.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Noah's mom was amazing. Noah's mom.
Yes.
Can we just
Yes.
put that
Thanks,
out
Noah's
there?
mom.
Noah's mom.
Thank you, Noah's
She did
mom.
all the craft services. She was a god.
Is our set
That
mom?
van. You see her van. Okay, well, you see her van in one of the shots.
That's true.
And as we get pushed into it, there's all this bottled water and craft service stuff. But
That's
you don't
right.
see that.
Yeah, that's right. That van. We had to shift all that stuff. Dude,
That red van, the shot. You've seen the movie, right, Logan? You sound like you've seen it. Yes,
Yeah.
The shot where they get kidnapped, and right before the train track sequence, where they get pushed into that red van. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If you look closely, when they're getting pushed in, you can see all of the the Red Bulls and the various
It's our crafty van.
craft services boxes that she had just come back from Costco and hadn't unloaded yet. And we were like, we need that van for the shoot, as the vehicle for the kidnapping. And so that vehicle has been immortalized. The craft service vehicle was immortalized.
But thank you, Noah's mom, for the food.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
She killed it. She really did.
Something
She really.
I can
kept
jump
everyone-
in a second
That's awesome.
that I
That's
do want to
awesome.
talk about before time
Yeah, go ahead.
runs out too much. Before we run out too much time, I do want to talk about Noah and Evan working on their Steadicam rig and how much that freed up our time, because I feel like Evan and Noah did have a good game strategy. And I feel like I have to talk about Evan because his camera work is very much
Definitely.
the character.
Definitely.
And I know people that are watching for the film festival will be interested to hear a lot about some of those technical aspects going on all these universes, into all these universes. So go. Y'all talk
Amazing.
about
So
it.
is the festival still going on, Gabriel? I know we got like about a minute left, but the festival's still going on?
Yeah. The festival ended yesterday on the 12th, but we are continuing to put out Q&As, and we're tabulating the audience awards today, and we're going to announce all the audience and festival awards on Wednesday morning. And part of Big Bear Film Summit, which is important to me as a collaborator, artist, producer, and now a festival director, is to connect filmmakers with distributors, other producers, talent that can help advance the film's life or your career or whatever. And so that's important to me. I'm a connector. I do that, and the festival has been a great vehicle to do that. So
can I just say this virtual thing is the best. I'd never heard of the Film Summit. A lot of the people that I turned on to the film and went to the website had never heard of the Film Summit, or they would never have been able to go physically to the Film Summit. So having this option of a virtual Film Summit has just been amazing. I think it's great.
Yeah, they should do it for all film festivals, I feel like.
They should, and they probably will. I think this is the new normal.
All right. Well, listen, guys, we'll let you get back to it. Very good. Well, awesome. It's enjoyable to listen to you guys, and we'll see you guys at the next Big Bear Film Festival.
Cool.
Thanks, Logan.
Hey, guys.
Thanks
See you
so
guys.
much, Logan.
Thanks, Gabe.
See ya.
Great to see you
You
all.
too.
Yeah.
Looking beautiful, guys.